Man, Vin Diesel would be proud. Finally, we have a Black Widow standalone film. I think it's safe to say that most people were pretty looking forward to this one, but was it worth the wait? Black Widow follows the events of Captain America: Civil War, where 𝗳𝗺𝗃 Romanoff is now on the run and forced to confront a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past. Pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down, Romanoff must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake long before she became an Avenger. So this movie is actually set after the events of Captain America: Civil War and before the events of Avengers: Infinity War. So if you're wondering why she's still alive, that's why. Which leads me to believe that they really should have made this film a long time ago. Back then, I would probably have enjoyed it a lot more. Now, like most of us, I have been wanting a Black Widow film, origin story, or whatever you want to call it, way back, like since way back when, what, like 2012 or 2013 or something like that? And with this movie being delayed about a year because of COVID, I would say that I'm a lot less hyped now, that at one point, I just didn't even care about it anymore. In saying that though, I was still looking forward to it just because it's Marvel, you know, like ever since Iron Man, the start of the MCU, Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, you expect great things, you know, and when those expectations aren't met, it might be a little disappointing, and that, for me, was the case with Black Widow. I found this film to be pretty underwhelming, not just as a movie within the MCU, but also just as a standalone film. It was very slow paced, not much really happens, and you didn't know what they were fighting for until you were a fair amount into the movie. And yeah, I can just see the memes rolling in. This film is all centralized around family, you know, it plays a big part, not only in reference, but also like what happens in the movie, you know. You've got a lot of references about, oh, Natasha's already got a Avengers family, but now she's got her other family, and that's where I feel most of this movie stays. You see, there really wasn't any real emotion or a sense of urgency. I didn't even know what the end goal of the main villain was until almost the end of the movie. And that's the thing, the villain mostly just hides in the shadows and is almost non-existent. So, of course, you just kind of had to bring in the Taskmaster, a seemingly scary sub-villain, just to spice things up a bit. But I kind of wish there was more to Taskmaster as well. You know, I was pretty excited knowing Taskmaster was in the movie after seeing them in Marvel's Spider-Man PS4 game. But there really wasn't too much to its character other than just being a quiet assassin trying to hunt Natasha and her family down. So you've got a villain in the shadows pulling the strings of an uninteresting sub-villain. And even though the film is more than 2 hours long, it kind of felt relatively short. Probably because, and I think because like not a lot happens, nor did I care about most of it. I did like learning a bit about Natasha and Yelena's backstory, and I thought Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh's chemistry was probably one of the best things about this film. And this is a film that is pretty self-aware at times. Sometimes there are a few jokes and the like, so it doesn't just feel like robots doing things for no reason. I also liked how this film shows how it fits within the MCU. Like there were mentions of when the Avengers disbanded and what happened before, but also after, like when the film concludes. And even though like it was subtle, it was there. But I have to say, some relationships and backstories could have been fleshed out a lot more. Like the Red Guardian, there were mentions of, oh, he could be Captain America's rival or something, but it's not exactly clear like how he got his name, what he used to do, and how he got to where he got to before the events of this film took place. Similarly, when Natasha and Yelena first meet, they have this tumble and fight, but it's not totally clear where their relationship left off, what happens, because they're like trying to take each other's life, unless they're like play fighting or whatever. But you don't just do that if you have just a little argument, you know. It's funny because normally when I watch movies, I go to the theaters slightly tired and kind of yawning in a way. That's just because of the way I am, you know. I sleep really late, especially like when the lights go off and it's like, okay, sleepy time. But then halfway through the movie, I would be wide-eyed and fully awake, especially if like it has a lot going for it, whether it be the story, the action, the drama, horror, or anything like that, right? In this one, however, I got like almost 2 hours into it and I just felt slightly bored. Like I tried caring for the movie, but I just couldn't, and my eyes almost kind of gave way. There was one scene towards the end where it was like a giant escape mission, and that was probably the best part. But like, I just felt like the film needed to be more badass and just have more unique stunts and fight scenes, because they were pretty ordinary for the most part, and there actually wasn't that many of them. Like I said, most of this film focuses on family. Honestly, I feel like the post-credits scene where it hints what's next and is in real time was probably better than the entire movie. I'm going to give Black Widow a C+. I want to say that it was good, but and that it was decent, but I think that's just me convincing myself that I want it to be good. But anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Like and sub if you enjoyed, and as always, feel free to check out any of my previous videos. Until next time.